Hello, today I have Ocean Acidification IELTS Master Reading Passage. So I'm going to find out its answers, and there are question 1 to 7. Answer the questions below, and the instructions are no more than 3 words and or a number. First 7 are these. First of all, I'm going to read all of these and underline my keywords. What does the pteropod use to move itself through the water? Used to move itself. Which part of pteropods was being damaged by increased acidification? Damaged by. So now moving to the actual passage and starting to read and finding out my keywords. First of all, a few years ago, well, my answer is in the first sentence. She was aboard a research ship in the North Pacific carrying out experiments on a species of pteropod, small molluscus with shells up to a centimeter long, which swim in a way that resembles butterfly flight propelled by small flaps. Used to move itself, propelled by small flaps. My first answer is small flaps. And what part of pteropods was being damaged by increased acidification? Fourth line is my second answer. The pteropods were still swimming, but their shells were visibly dissolving, says Fabry. Their shells are being damaged by increased acidification. She realized that animals' respiration had increased the carbon dioxide in the jars, which had been sealed for 48 hours. And their shells or alone shells is my answer of second. Third, what proportion of carbon dioxide released over last 200 years has been taken in by oceans? And my keyword for this is last 2000 years. And proportion of carbon dioxide released. And my answer is in the third paragraph, first line. Recent studies show that seas have absorbed about a third of all fossil fuel carbon released into atmosphere since the beginning of industrial revolution in the mid 18th century. And there is last 200 years and mid 18th century, and the proportion of carbon released and the proportion is a third, is my answer of third, a third. Next, where do carbonates enter the oceans from? Carbonates enter, and my answer for fourth is in fourth paragraph, fourth part. And over this time scale, the release of carbonates from rocks on land and from ocean sediments can neutralize dissolved CO2 just like dropping chalk in an acid. and carbonates are released from rocks, and my answer for 4 is rocks. And next, fifth, how long did the oceans need to recover after the destruction of marine life by acidification 55 million years ago? 55 million years ago. How long? 55 million years ago. They showed that the mass extinction of huge number of deep sea creatures around 55 million years ago was caused by ocean acidification after the release of around 4,500 gigatons of carbon. It took over 100,000 years for the oceans to return to their normal state, and my answer is over 100,000 years for the fifth. And which businesses will suffer if reefs are damaged? Businesses if reefs are damaged. And my answer for sixth is in this paragraph. Marine ecosystem, especially coral reefs, are likely to be affected, with fishing and tourism based around reefs losing billions of dollars each year. Yet the report also stressed that there is a huge uncertainty about the effects on marine life, and my answer for this is fishing and tourism business. Fishing and tourism for sixth. And seventh, what type of creatures make their skeleton out of aragonite? And in this type of creatures, skeletons out of aragonite. Skeleton. Skeleton. But this is missing. So this is my keyword. Calcium carbonate comes in two different forms, aragonite and calcite. Aragonite being more soluble, so organisms with aragonite structures such as corals will be hardest hit. And my answer is corals of seventh. Now from 8 to 12, no more than two words. A possible benefit from increased CO2 levels in sea. Increased ocean acidification, large quantities of organic compounds made by transfer to dash are formed, and temperature reduction in rate of. So far, picture looks relentlessly gloomy, but could there actually be some positive result from adding so much CO2 to the seas? One intriguing finding says URLF Fribessel of Lebanese Institute of Marine Science in Köln, Germany, concerns gases that influence climate. A few experiments suggest that in more acidic conditions, microbes will produce more volatile organic compounds such as, and large quantities of organic compounds made by microbes. My answer is microbes of earth. And next, transfer to dash. For this, my answer is some of which escape to the atmosphere and causes clouds to develop. And there is escapes and there is transfers to. My answer for this is atmosphere. Ninth answer is atmosphere. And next, dash are formed causes clouds to develop. Clouds of 10th. And next, dash temperatures. More clouds would mean cooler condition, which could potentially slow global warming. And more clouds means cooler conditions, and conditions is temperature. Cooler conditions is they are talking about temperature. Cooler temperature. And next, reduction in rate of, and could potentially slow global warming. Reduce global warming. Reduce the reduction in rate of global warming. And next, choose the correct letter A, B, C, D. Write the correct letter in box 13 on your answer sheet. Which of the following best summarize the writer's view in passage? A. We will have to wait and see if acidification has serious effect. B. It is clear that acidification will cause huge damage to marine life. C. It is likely that increased CO2 will change marine ecosystem considerably. D. The theory that increased CO2 could have positive results is believable. And let's find out its answer. And answer for this is in these three lines. Taking this and other scientists' view into account, it seems clear that acidification will mean the loss of many species, so our children will not see amazingly beautiful things that we can. It is important to tell them to go and see the corals now before it is too late. And its answer is C. It is likely that increased CO2 will change marine ecosystem considerably. Taking this and other scientists' view into account, it seems clear that acidification will mean the loss of many species. There will be some changes, and there will be some changes in marine life. So, like some animals would extinct, and more will be at the risk of extinction. So, its answer is C. So, thank you for watching the video.